you are watching the last moments of Saul Canelo Álvarez. Let me set the scene! It's July 29th, 2023. Inside the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, one of the biggest fights in history is happening tonight. Bud Crawford versus Canelo Álvarez. On one side is Bud, the smooth operator, pound for pound no. One undefeated. And then there's Canelo, the all-time great, the face of boxing, the 2nd of February 57 going into this fight. All the pressure is on Canelo. This is a winner-to-call matchup. But within seconds of the opening bell, the unthinkable starts to happen. Crawford flicks out his jab, testing Canelo, who barely gets off the stool. He's stunned by the speed and power of the punch. Now, Canelo has never been a big fan of the jab, but his issues go much deeper than that. His overall game plan seems to be flawed. We see him lunge forward with wild haymakers and miss. Then he awkwardly ties up his arms against the ropes, trying to force a clinch. Crawford, meanwhile, is dancing around the ring with ease, popping and snapping the jab, looking crisp and quick. In this opening round, we already see signs of what's to come, and it's not pretty for the home side. By the end of the second, Canelo's left eye is nearly swollen shut. But still, he's somehow able to land a few heavy shots. So, perhaps Crawford's undefeated record will finally be on the line in the third. But nope. After taking another jab, Canelo stumbles backwards. He runs into a brutal uppercut that sends him crashing to the canvas. This fight feels like it's happening. Fast forward. Crawford's jab has found its range. Every time Canelo tries to attack, he eats a counterpunch. The two fighters trade shots against the ropes, but there's only one person landing cleanly, and it's not Canelo. Again, it comes back to that jab. Canelo is moving forward, but he's getting hit with so many straight lefts that his entire face is now swelling up. After 3 rounds, Canelo's team needs to figure something out. Because if this continues, it won't matter if the fight goes 12. Canelo will be stopped on his stool. Now, heading into the fourth, it looks like maybe Canelo is going to make some adjustments. He takes the center of the ring. He's coming forward, forcing Crawford to move backwards. But then he eats a right hand that puts him back on the defensive. As the rounds pass, we see more and more frustration building on Canelo's face. Meanwhile, Crawford keeps looking relaxed. He's floating around the ring like he's just playing a video game. Now, I know what you're thinking. This doesn't look good for Canelo, but surely he can turn things around in the second half of the fight. Right? Well, I hate to break it to you, but Canelo is actually getting worse. He's overextending, lunging, and each time he misses, he comes back defensively. In round 5, we see a huge turning point. Canelo is trapped against the ropes. He looks like he's about to get cut off again, but suddenly he unleashes a furious combination. For a brief moment, it looks like Canelo might be back in this fight. But then, bam, he eats a massive uppercut that sends him sprawling across the ring. Now Canelo is hurt bad. This is uncharted territory for him. He's never been in a fight like this, let alone in his professional career. As the bell rings for round 6, we see Canelo slowly making his way back to his corner. But once he gets there, he stays seated. And then it happens. He shakes his head and refuses to get up. The referee rushes over, waves the fight off, and it's official. Canelo Álvarez has quit in the middle of the ring. Now, I want you to pause for a second and think about what just happened. Canelo was quitting against a man younger than him, a man he had dominated in their previous meeting. A man who was clearly outmatched. Yet in the face of defeat, Canelo tapped out. If you were at the T-Mobile Arena last night, how did you react when this happened? Were you shocked, disgusted, or maybe you were indifferent? Either way, let us know in the comments below. I personally couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. This has to be some kind of joke, right? But as I watched replays, heard from the commentators and read the articles afterwards, it sunk in. What I just witnessed was the shocking fall of one of the greatest boxers of our generation. The aftermath was even wilder. We saw Crawford celebrating in the center of the ring while Canelo walked off in disbelief. The home crowd booed and chanted, "Canelo! Canelo! Canelo!" But he ignored them. He wanted to disappear. Later that night, we got statements from everyone. Crawford was humble and appreciative of the win. Reynoso, Canelo's coach, said, "We tried to change things in the second part of the fight, but he couldn't see. There was nothing we could do." Finally, we got the quote from Canelo himself, and it reads, "I want to apologize to all my fans. I feel terrible. I wasn't able to see because of the swelling and I couldn't defend myself. I'm really disappointed with myself. But here's the thing. None of these quotes matter. Not one word. All that people will remember is the image of Canelo sitting on his stool, refusing to get up. If you Google his name right now, that's the first thing you'll see. And it's not because the media is biased. It's because that's the most shocking part of the fight. Everyone expected Canelo to lose. So the fact that he gave up is the main story. Here's the crazy thing. The more I analyze this fight, the more I think about it. The more I realize how lucky Canelo was to get out when he did. Because Bud Crawford was not holding back. From the first round, he came to destroy Canelo, and he was well on his way to doing exactly that. Think about it. If Canelo hadn't quit, Crawford would have continued to unload. And if this went on for another 2 rounds, it's likely that Crawford would have ended the fight with a knockout. I know it sounds harsh, but Crawford was that dominant. In the post-fight press conference, Crawford said something that really stood out. He said, "I didn't just beat him. I made him quit." That's what real champions do! And you know what? He's right. A real champion isn't just the guy who wins the fight. He's the guy who breaks his opponent mentally. And that's exactly what Crawford did to Canelo last night. So here's the deal. I used to think that Canelo was unbeatable. I really did. But after what I saw last night, I have to reconsider. Now, I'm not saying that Canelo is washed up or anything like that. He's still a top fighter, and he'll probably go on to have more great fights. But I think we all need to take a step back and realize what just happened. A man who was considered invincible gave up in the ring. And the reason I'm telling you this is simple. You should have seen this coming. If you really understand the game, you can tell where things are headed. And if you're smart enough to learn from it, you can apply that knowledge to other areas of your life. Think about it. When Canelo started losing, he panicked. He took reckless actions that made things worse. Sounds familiar, right? Like when someone's trying to climb the social ladder and they cheat or lie to get ahead, or when a business owner expands too quickly and takes on debt that they can't handle. Sometimes the best thing you can do is pull back and reassess the situation. Maybe Canelo could have done that last night and still walked away with his head held high. Instead, he quit. And whether he admits it or not, that will haunt him forever. Now, Canelo will probably come back and try to make a comeback. But no matter what he does, this moment will be seared into boxing history. It's a reminder that even the best of the best can fall. And that sometimes you have to know when to walk away. What did you guys think of Crawford's performance? Did you agree with Canelo's decision to quit? Comment your thoughts down below. And don't forget to subscribe for daily uploads.